Welcome back to the Shadow Priestess Embodied. I'm your host, Kaylin Rakowski, and thank you for joining me today for another deep dive and exploration into your inner world, into your body, the shadow realms, where we will begin to explore some of these esoteric principles and really begin to drop them down into modern day application and embodiment. This is a sacred place where you can begin to truly meet yourself, meet your medicine, and to meet your magic. This is a place of remembrance. Take a deep breath and let's begin. All right, you guys. So let's dive right in. Episode number 1. I'm just kidding. But obviously, I am super excited to just have this conversation with you today. And how I approach this may look a little bit different than how maybe some of you do your podcast or podcast you have listened to in the past, but I really am a channel, a vessel, and I am trusting in that to deliver you the most juicy, potent, impactful message that whoever feels called to this today needs to hear and will receive. So let's hold the intention that as we dive into this conversation, that every single person who said yes, who is listening to this, receives whatever nugget, whatever wisdom, whatever guidance, whatever aha they need to unveil more of who they are and to really begin to step into alignment. So, what I want to talk to you guys about today is something that I've really been sitting with. And it's this idea that going through expansions of growth or going through phases of expansion is a completely different realm than being in the midst of a rebirth. Okay. And for me, I feel like I have recently entered one of the biggest initiations of my life. I have entered into the void where honestly, I am questioning everything about my life, who I am, what I'm here to do, what is my purpose? I'm sure some of you have probably sat with these questions, and so have I. But I can tell you that at this moment in time, it is on such a different level. It is truly where I feel like I don't know up from down. I don't know left from right, trying to really even discover like what is that thing that I desire? Who do I know myself to be? And what is it that I came here to do? And the reason I'm sitting with this is that I have been having this deep call, this deep pull that there is something more. And, it kind of started coming in as a whisper. And I was like, oh, all right, I'm comfortable. I like my life. I was living a great life. I was coaching conscious leaders, elite entrepreneurs, change makers, people who are just absolutely incredible in their right. And on the outside, you would have said, oh my gosh, you have the best job. You're doing all the things. And it's not that I didn't love it and that I still don't love it, but it's this constant pull or my spirit nudging me, telling me that there's more. And truthfully, I haven't really known what that more was going to look like. And I've maybe even tried to control what that more was going to be or look like creating from my mind, creating from my ego. And I realized that going into rebirth requires the deepest level of surrender. Yeah, I said it, surrender. And there is no part of you that can control this process. This truly is a process where you enter into the mystery. You enter into the womb of the cosmic mother. You are literally in the darkness with God, with your higher self, with universe, whatever you believe in. And it is really that moment where you have to drop down on your knees, and it's like, how deeply can I surrender? How deeply can I trust in myself? Can I trust in God? Can I trust in the universe? Because truthfully, they're all in the same, right? And as I'm going through this deep portal of transformation, of rebirth, it's really drawing awareness that this next level doesn't require me trying to ascend, right? Like, we're always like, let's be high vibe, let's go higher, da da da. Like, not that that is necessarily a bad thing. And I think that that's where a lot of people start on their spiritual path, right? Like, they want to like leave their body, they want to go hang out in the higher realms, they want to connect to their guides, they want to, X, Y, and Z. That's amazing. However, there comes a point on your journey where it's about the descent, okay? It's about how deep are you willing to go? How deep into your own body are you willing to go? Dropping down from your head into your heart, into your womb, and awakening the remembrance, the codex, the codes, the templates that already exist in your body. Okay. It's like, instead of seeking external wisdom or somebody else's, perspective, etc., it's about embodying the innate wisdom, the innate knowledge that your soul came here to express and to be. And it's kind of like this beautiful inverse reaction. It's like when you begin to drop deeper into your body and to go within and not trying to fix or work on yourself, but to just be fully immersed in the self, right? Like, can you just feel the difference in that? It's like it also creates this, inverse reaction where it's like the deeper I go into my own soul, my own essence, my own codex, the higher I ascend. Okay. So it's like this beautiful inverse co-creation of ascension and descension, which creates your most authentic medicine, and your most potent essence gets to come online and gets to be expressed. That's when you begin to embody your soul destiny timeline versus, trying to fit into a different timeline or fit into a different blueprint that your soul is just not an energetic match for. And that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you, or, you're not as good as. It's like, this is when you need to really embody your uniqueness, your unique flavor. You literally are one of one. And when you are fully anchored in your truth, when you are fully anchored in your highest expression, your essence, your medicine, there really is no competition. There's no competition. Like, no one can be you and you can't be anyone else. And that's kind of the point, right? So it's like, how deeply are you willing to enter into this void, into the darkness? And let me tell you, it is messy as fuck. It is messy as fuck. And something that I've really been leaning into is messy on my way to mastery. And this whole idea that, we're behind, in life, or, we're behind somebody else. It's like, it's a fucking illusion. It's a fucking illusion. It's like we're trying to fit on this timeline or this metric of success that is 100% imaginary and made up, right? So when you can start to draw awareness to self, draw awareness to your own life, what's lighting you up, what do you desire? That's when things actually can begin to unfold for you in such a magical, delicious way. And instead of feeling, like you're in that force, you're in that push, you're in that, hustle trying to make things happen, this beautiful thing happens where you get into this kind of flow and co-creation with the divine, and things just come to you effortlessly, right? They're magnetized to you because you are in full embodiment of your essence, of your truth. That's kind of like the universe's way of showing you, like, hey, yeah, this thing over here, this way of being, this way of showing up, etc., is part of your soul destiny timeline. That's why it is so effortless. That's why it's so easy. Now, kind of slightly nuanced caveat with this, just because it flows to you easy, just because um it's effortless to obtain, doesn't mean that it's going to be comfortable for you. Okay, you have to think that when we begin to honor our soul's alignment, when we begin to come back into our sacred truth, it also is a deconditioning process. It is like a dismantling, an unveiling, where we're peeling back the layers of identity, behaviors, relationships, environments, so much of our programming and conditioning that truly was never ours to begin with, to allow more of our natural essence to come online and be embodied and express. It's like every time that you let go of who you believed yourself to be or who you were, you allow more for that innate expression to come online. And it does feel super uncomfortable, right? Because for so long, your mom and dad wanted you to be this way, and your friends wanted you to be this way. And, the two strongest driving factors in our human bodies are attachment and authenticity. And we will betray ourselves. We will betray our authenticity to be attached, right? Like, we're tribal beings. We want to be connected to the tribe because for so long, if you were disconnected from tribe, right, going back to our programming, then you were exiled. And most time that meant death. So there's a deep programming in all of us that's like, hey, authenticity equals death. It equals being exiled. And that's why so many of us are walking around in these conditioned identities, versions of self that are so disconnected from that unique flavor of our essence, right? Like, maybe, you're trying to be the good girl. You want to be liked. You want to be accepted. I want to be nice, right? Like, we've all been there. And really, your soul is fucking fire. She's spicy. Maybe she's got an undertone of bitchy. Maybe she is sexy. Maybe she's assertive, right? But you're so focused trying to be liked, to be accepted, to be the good girl, that you aren't allowing that expression to come online. And it's like, the more that you resist, like, the truth, the sacredness, the aliveness of who you really are on that soul level, it's like you are going to constantly be coming up into these times in life where you feel unfulfilled, where you feel like something is missing, where you feel like there's something more, right? And that's because there is you, right? Freedom really is when we can fully be ourselves, right? When we can fully be expressed in ourselves. And I really feel that until we give ourselves the permission to fully just be all of us, right? Like, be all of you, that we're going to continue being on this like hamster wheel or this constant quest, like trying to look for something that can only be found from going within, that can only be found from you fully bringing all of you to your life, from you embodying all of you, from you loving you, accepting you. And it's like, when we can fully give ourselves permission to be that expressed, it's like we also give people an invitation to do the same. I can't tell you how many people tell me, God, Kaylin, it feels so safe to be around you. I love being around you. I love who I am when I'm around you. And it's because my frequency, my vibration is signaling to them that, like, it is safe here. It is safe to be you. It is safe to be fully expressed. And I think, God, that's probably one of the greatest gifts that we can fully give each other. And it really has been me going into this portal way of death, right? Like, death of my job, death of my identity, that's really like shaken me up to allow more of me to come online. And do I know exactly what that's going to look like yet? No. Am I learning to be okay in the unknown? Absolutely. And is there a part of me that also is extremely excited? Fuck yeah. And the only reason that I've created a level of resistance to this season of my life is because I believed it was going to be different. I thought it was going to look different. I think my mind knows more than my body, that my ego knows more than God. And I've just really been leaning into that this season of my life is absolutely perfect. And even though I don't know what it is, I know that something is coming. I know that something is unfolding. And I know from my own spiritual work with myself and clients that this experience of the 3D, right, of the physical is such a small, tiny, minute little dot of what we have access to and what is happening beyond the veil and in the unseen realms. And if you take one little nugget of wisdom from this today, take that in those moments of your life where you feel like you have been buried, when you feel like nothing is happening, like truly that is when everything is happening. That is when you are entering this womb of the cosmic mother, when there is a cosmic rearrangement taking place for you and for your soul. And all that God, universe, your higher self is asking you to do is to surrender, to trust, to let go, to allow those parts of you to die, to allow for it to be messy, and each day for you to drop deeper into your devotion, into your body, into your vessel, and to truly let God, to truly let spirit lead the way. Something truly beautiful and magical happens when you finally stop trying to be something you're not, to try to stop pretending or striving after something that isn't authentic to you, and to really go after your soul desires. When you really begin to be spirit led first and honor alignment with your essence, with your truth above everything else, like that literally is the cheat code, like to life, to success, to fulfillment, to freedom. And it really is with you being true to yourself, with you honoring yourself, and knowing that as you do that, the universe starts to give you these breadcrumbs. And it's like, can you receive this? Can you meet this? Can you embody this? Can you meet me here? And it's like, as you do that, and as you rise to that, as you step to that, it's like you get in this beautiful dance with God, with the universe, where you start co-creating your life in this way on this foundation of alignment, of fulfillment, where it's like the doing and the being kind of create this beautiful intersection and become one. And it's just like, it's just purely expression of who you are. Like, I'm not trying to do anything. I don't have to do anything. I choose to, I get to, because it's simply who I am. And as I lean into this darkness, as the feminine calls to me, as I enter my winter phase, I am following the breadcrumbs. I'm leaning deeper into trust. I'm leaning deeper into my devotional practices and allowing the universe to surprise me, allowing myself to truly be spirit led, and letting go of an expectation or an attachment or an outcome, and truly day by day being anchored, fully embodied, present in this moment, and asking my body, asking God, what is it that you want me to do? Where is it that you're wanting me to go? What is lighting me up right now? Like, what is turning me on? What is the thing that I feel called to do? And trusting that as I lean into that every single day, that more of the path is revealed, that more of my soul mission is embodied, that it's like you begin collecting all of these pieces, and it's like you get this beautiful roadmap. And one day it's like you realize that in all this time that, you felt like you were trying to get somewhere, that you already arrived. right? Like everything in your life is already perfect and you are literally living in a past manifestation. Like today, right here in this moment, was something that I dreamt about, that I prayed about. And it's like when we can allow ourselves to be present in that, to receive that, to show gratitude for that, you know, that creates the frequency of more of the expansion. So if you find yourself in a season that doesn't make sense. Maybe you're also going through a rebirth and you feel like things are falling away, like things are dying, that, things just don't make sense. I want you to ask yourself, like, how is this everything I asked for? How is this actually serving me? And I promise you, when you can start asking those questions more times than not, you'll realize that you are literally in the middle of the manifestation. You are literally in the process of receiving everything that you want. And it's like, how can I show up fully in my power to meet that now, to receive that now, to enjoy that now? And I will tell you, that is exactly what I'm doing. I'm letting go of control. I'm letting go of the force. I'm letting go of the when, the where, the how, and truly surrendering to God and letting it unfold behind or in front of my eyes and letting the universe surprise me, because I know that what my higher self, what God has in store for me, is so much bigger than anything that my mind can comprehend or have created. And that's why I'm feeling the call to more. And to those of you who are also feeling this call, who feel that call to more, I want you to look at where in your life can you create space for more? What are you willing to surrender, to sacrifice, to let go of? What parts of you can you allow to die, to fall away, that are not serving your highest expression, your highest potential, your highest medicine, your magic? And how deeply are you willing to surrender and to trust not only in God, but in yourself, in your resiliency, trusting that if you have these callings, if you have these desires, if you have these like burnings in your soul, that they are 100% destined for you. You would not have the desire if you were not the person to fulfill them and to birth them into this world. So, how deeply can you trust that innate wisdom of your body, of your soul, and how deep are you willing to go? Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me today for another juicy episode of Shadow Priestess Embodied. I absolutely love diving in and having these conversations with you all. If this is an episode that you found intriguing, that you found some nuggets in, please share it with a friend and be sure to subscribe and follow me so you can be present for all of the upcoming transmissions, activations, and downloads that I'll be bringing to our community. Have an absolutely magical day, and I'll see you soon.